Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin Hopp, and today I will be showing you how to perform a waist circumference assessment for my Kin 1000 class. The reason why this assessment is important is because it can give you a better prediction of a increase in risk for diseases like CVD, hypertension, dyslipidemia, or type 2 diabetes. And the reason why this strength is better than just simply a BMI test, which only takes your height or weight into account, is because it shows where the fat actually is on your body. So if you take a waist circumference, there's an increased risk if the majority of your fat is held around your midsection versus if it's held around your hip area. However, a weakness of this subject or of this assessment is if your subject has a BMI higher than 35, then the waist circumference assessment won't give you any more predictability to an increased risk more than the BMI test would. So there is like a limiting factor to this test, but it's still better than performing just the BMI test alone. As a exercise physiologist, your responsibility for this test is to make sure that your subject is prepared. Obviously, there's very little safety factor in performing this test, but if your subject is prepared, then they know what to expect going into the test. For instance, my subject today will be Jake, and he's lactose intolerant. So if he knows that he'll be taking this waist circumference assessment today, then he'll make sure to avoid any foods that include lactose like dairy that might cause him to bloat the day of, which can affect his results of this assessment. Next, I'll show you how to perform the actual assessment. Okay, now we will show you how to perform the actual assessment. First thing you need to do is find the top of the hip bones on your subject. Usually you can do this by just pressing slightly into the subcutaneous fat on the midsection. So his hip bones are about right here, and I usually give myself one extra finger length above that just to make sure that we are measuring the thinnest part of your subject's waist measurement. Have your subject hold the string in place so that you can walk around them and keep your string level to the ground. That's very important so that you get an accurate measurement. Okay, now that we have the string in place, just make sure your subject breathes normally, doesn't try to suck in their midsection, and right at the end of your exhale, you'll just pull the string slightly and take a measurement of the length there. Okay, you can let go of the string, and now that we have our measurement, I'm just going to measure this on my construction measuring tape. So his waist circumference is 35.2 inches, and you want to perform this test a minimum of 2 times, making sure that you have less than a 5 millimeter difference each time, just to make sure that you're getting similar results each time to make sure your results are accurate. So I'll perform the test one more time. Finding the top of the hip bone, one extra finger. Does that feel about right? Okay, and walk around again. Okay, now the string is in place, and we'll tighten it slightly, making X holes, and we'll measure the string a second time just to make sure we're getting an accurate reading. Okay, so this measurement turned out to be 35.4. So if you take the average of those two, his waist circumference should be 35.3 inches. And I'll go into the risk factors associated with that test next. So now that the actual assessment is performed, we can dive into the risk factors associated with the results of the test. If your result is higher than 35-inch waist for females, you're at an increased risk for those diseases I mentioned earlier, like hypertension, type 2 diabetes, dyslipidemia, CVD, things like that. For males, if your waist measurement is 40 inches or higher, you are also at risk for those diseases. Now, remember, if your BMI results are higher than 35, then this waist circumference assessment won't give you any extra information that the BMI test would have already told you. So that is the limiting factor in this result. Thanks for watching my video class. I'll see you next time.